Good night, everyone. It's already December 10th, 2020. With this, we start the show Confirmado la Moncloa, a review of the Spanish political situation. It will be around 30 minutes long to focus on a few ideas. As always, we'll start with a comment of the day. We were just watching some TV, changing channels, and we just saw a program that they were talking about Mr. Rajoy, and we thought, do they really have to talk about him again? He was a president here in Spain, but it's now past. Long time has gone by. When we have more than 50,000 dead people from the COVID-19 and the government isn't saying the real number of deaths. And also talking about the tax regularization of the former king of Spain, Juan Carlos. Well, if other people from other political parties, like for example when Monedero was part of the political party Unidas Podemos and he regularized his situation and nothing happened, well, if the former king does that, then it's okay. And also we think it's not the same if you steal money than hiding all of the deaths from the COVID-19 that the government is hiding, because the deaths, they're not gonna be alive the next day. And instead, people that do steal, they will pay for it, even if it's just some days later. And while we have more than 50,000 dead people, some just keep on talking if the former king is regularizing his situation or if someone else has done something else. And not talking about what they should be talking about, the bad management and all those deaths. Some of us think that we're just in a country where they're just hysterical people and just people that want to criticize. A country that is just more worried about trying to find the error or trying to find the joke instead of trying to analyze the situations and find out the facts. Like for example, with this channel that we have, Confirmado la Moncloa, that we have some of the followers that are really there to help us, and then we have other people that are just trying to find the error, the little tiny error, that we have no problem in saying that we made a mistake, but they're just trying to find that mistake. But in this channel, in this show, we do give importance to all of those deaths. It is much more important that if someone has stealed, because the deaths, we're not going to have them alive again. And if the others just use all of the other information, like if someone has stealed or something, or if someone has said something different or committed a mistake, they're just using it as a smokescreen of all of the other information that should come out, and done by incompetent people that are not even saying the truth with dignity. And those people that use humor or TV shows or the media, or they're just using it to get what they wouldn't obtain using their abilities to work, but instead they're just using it to see others' mistakes and criticizing, since they can't have what they would like to have if they were to work with their abilities. Because for us in this channel, we like the effort, we like also the hours that we put into it, and we also like and the ability to work. And we will continue informing, because we think that some information is not being given to the citizens and that someone must tell them. And some tendencies of what we analyze can change, but some are just really clear and are just unmoving. Like for example, that the national government here in Spain is just completely finished. The key is when. When is it going to fall? One of the problems of this government not falling sooner is the clear incompetence of the opposition we have here in Spain. The media that is just trying to do what the government says, because they're not helping to see and show everyone that this government is finished. We must stay vigilant, and we start with the headlines of the day. The first headline is the controversy of the flights of the illegal immigrants from the Canary Islands to the peninsula. The second headline is the interview to Pedro Sánchez in TV that is going to be like a massage for him, because they're just going to do the questions he wants to be asked. And when someone has to show up on TV every other day, it's just to prove that they're really not communicating well the information they want to communicate. The third headline is about the program that we did just a bit ago of Meritxell Batet and her curriculum, where we think we found surprising information, and we also throw just a question in the air that would be, how many of the listeners we have would be able to pay a mortgage of 300,000 euros in 4 years? And the fourth headline of the day is related to the vaccine of Pfizer that is advising people with allergies to not put the vaccine. The thing is, who doesn't have an allergy? I mean, a lot of people have allergies. For example, I have allergies to a few things. So getting into the first headline, the controversy of the flights of the illegal immigrants. It seems that around 8 flights, please just keep the number in mind, 8 flights have arrived into the peninsula from the Canary Islands with illegal immigrants. And the national government just keeps replying that that's not true and that the flight was full of people that have bought their own ticket. But we should keep in mind that generally, immigration don't just come on their own. Usually, they have someone at the country they want to go to that help them. So, the reasoning that the government is saying that the immigrants are paying their own ticket could be true, but we don't know. The big doubt here, and the question for the government, is if these immigrants have gotten into the country illegally, why isn't the law applied to them and returning them to the destination where they came from? Because the thing is, if those immigrants have gotten to the country in a small boat, an illegal one, why isn't the government applying the law? And if they were legal immigrants, then why are they coming with illegal boats? And why do we all have to pay hotels for them? Because if they're so legal and not illegal immigrants, instead of going with the small illegal boat from Morocco to the Canary Islands and from there they're getting a flight to the peninsula, why aren't they just getting a flight from Morocco to the place they want to get to the peninsula if they're legal immigrants, just legal ones? That is, if they are legal ones. And what some of us start to doubt is that these immigrants have gotten to the Canary Islands illegally. And if they have come here illegally in a small illegal boat, then it makes no sense that they are able to move around the country with no law applied to them, because if they have gotten to the country illegally, the law should be applied and they should be deported. Because if not, why do they stamp passports and why do they give visas? And the thing is, if they have entered illegally, you can't make that illegal entering into the country an illegal one just by entering the peninsula. Because if you try to enter France in an illegal way, or the United States or any other country, they wouldn't let you get a plane without being a legal immigrant, not an illegal one. Because what documentation would you have? A passport where you wouldn't have the stamp, entry stamp of Spain? A passport that if you are an illegal immigrant would oblige them to deport you? So that's why most of the illegal immigrants don't have the passport with them, because they don't want to be deported and be identified quickly. How do they get to the plane? With what documentation? With a document of the national government maybe saying that they are legal ones instead of illegal? This is a complicated topic that is going to be more complicated. And with this we get into the second headline, where the interview to Pedro Sánchez is just a smoke screen to cover it all. We don't understand why they just keep on putting interviews on Sánchez and putting them on TV and just trying to say lies and cover-ups and smoke screens, when the truth is that only those loyal people that are having a benefit from this government are the ones trusting or believing the government because of their own interest. Because most of the citizens here in Spain just ignore this government. And remember that the ministers here of the government can't go to a bar and drink coffee without having all of the security and in a private area. For example, Minister Illa with the president of Cantabria. They had to be in a reserved area so no one would see them. So the thing is that the government, the national one, is not only so far away from the street and what happens there, but they just live in another dimension. And they know that their time as ministers will finish sooner than what they think. And we didn't want to analyze all of the interview of Sánchez, but he has acted like a hysterical person, just repeating his own sentences, his own smokescreen, and his typical sentences that nothing have to do with the things he does in reality. They just simply lie. They fool people. They don't even care if they're fooling or not. They don't try to cover it up. And now we enter the third headline, the curriculum of Meritxell Batet, that you can watch in a show that we did previously, and we're trying to just summarize a bit of it. From those years that she was a teacher, we don't know the position or what she was teaching. Also, the fact that in 4 years she pays a mortgage of 3,100 euros while she was a representative of the Congress. And we get with this to the fourth headline of the day. Those with allergies should better not take the vaccine of Pfizer. We will see if this alert still continues when the vaccination comes here to Spain or not. We will see if this happens with other vaccines from other companies or not. And we will also see what happens with putting fines to those that do not want to be vaccinated. A thing that seems a bit strange. And also the campaign in Twitter with the hashtag I am vaccinated or I'm taking the vaccine just seems totally ironic. We will keep vigilant to the vaccines and we will continue the show till the last day, and as we say here, stick around, or like we say in Spain, seguimos.